Alright guys, so today we're going through Pythagoras theorem. Alright, so when to use the Pythagoras theorem. So one thing you need to remember when you're using this theorem is only for right angle triangles. And how will we know something is a right angle triangle? We'll have a little symbol, like a little box at the corner. Yeah, like a elbow. We call it a right angle symbol, right? So any triangle that has that is automatically a right angle triangle, which automatically means that you can use Pythagoras theorem to do calculations with it. So always remember that this is only used for right angle triangle, right? The second thing and the main thing I have to remember is that in order to use this theorem, you need two known values at the sides of the triangle. So they need to give you well, they need to give you values for two sides. Alright, you need two sides because you wouldn't be able to calculate anything with one side. So they need to give you two sides. Alright, so as the first two. You can only use it for right angle triangles, and to use it, you need two known sides of the triangle. Alright, so that's the answer. So the actual term, it goes c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, where a, b, and c are sides of the triangle. That's a different label, right? A long way to say it is the hypotenuse, which we'll get to, squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Alright? So when we label the triangle, something we need to remember is that the hypotenuse, that's really the main part. Remember the right angle symbol to get what the hypotenuse or the side that is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the side opposite to the right angle symbol. That's like how this arrow looking opposite here. So anytime you get any triangle and you need to know what the hypotenuse is or what side is the hypotenuse, you just look to see what side opposite to it. So in this case with this triangle here, this side will be the hypotenuse. Yeah, because it's the side opposite to it. Alright, on the other sides, well, they are names to it, but that is a different topic on its own, right? But now, you need to know what side the hypotenuse is, and just look for the side that opposite to the right angle symbol. Alright, so when we labeling it, there are three sides, A, B, and C. So a tip is always label the hypotenuse C. It will make using the equation easier. Alright, so if we're labeling this triangle here, the side opposite will be C. And well, it doesn't matter what you label A and B, alright, because they're really important. So C, the hypotenuse, and A and B will be the other sides. Alright, and that's literally all it is about labeling. After you label, all it is plugging in values and calculating. Alright, so before we go into the question, just to recap, when you're using this theorem, the first thing you can only use it for right angle triangles. To know if something is a right angle triangle, you look for the symbol, the right angle symbol. Alright, to use it, you need two sides of the triangle, two values of the sides. Alright, so you need two sides. A and B, C and A, just need two sides. Alright, the tip always label the hypotenuse, which is the side opposite to the right angle as C. Alright, so it does make everything easier. Alright, so let's get into some questions if you see what we're talking about. So we have this triangle. The first thing I normally check is to see if it is a right angle triangle. So we can clearly see the symbol here. So therefore, it is a right angle triangle. So we go across. So when we go across, we can see that the hypotenuse is the side labeled 4. So we label this as C. And the other side will be A and B. Nice. So we have labeled our triangle. Write the equation. So C squared will equal to A squared plus B squared. Oops. There we go. Right, so now we just plug in the values that they gave us. So C is 4. So 4 squared is 16. A is 1. So 1 squared is 1 plus b squared. So we need to make b the subject of the formula. So we characterize the 1, so we'll end up with b squared being equal to 15. Because when you characterize the 1, you'll have to subtract. And characterize the square, you'll get square root of 15. Alright, so if you when you put that in a calculator, square root of 15 is 3.87. So b will end up being 3.87. Alright, and that's it. So label triangle, make sure you know what side is the hypotenuse, plug in your values, and solve. That's simple. Alright, let's continue. We have this question here now. So same thing. We need to know what side is the hypotenuse. So here's the hypotenuse. We label this as C, and the others A and B. Alright, the equation C squared B squared plus B squared. So C is what we want to solve for, so we'll leave that as C squared. A is 5, so 5 squared is 25. B is 3, so 3 squared is 9. Alright, so C squared 25 plus 9 is what, 36? I believe it's 36. It's 34. Oh. So now calculate the square, get square root of 34. And put in a calculator. Square root of 34 is 5.83. Next, and that was our question. And the last one, just so let's see red. So looking at this question, first thing, is it a right angle triangle? Take a guess. Okay, triangle. So first, I am not seeing any right angle symbol. Yeah, we're not seeing it. So therefore, we cannot use Pythagoras theorem with this triangle here. Yeah, so you cannot like this. Seeing it? So just be careful with it, right? So in order to make it into one, all you need to do is add a little symbol here. Wow, you can continue. But just remember, always look to check to see if it is a right angle triangle. Alright, so that's same thing. Let's do this one quickly. Side opposites. Notice this triangle kind of looks different, so it's the same thing. Side opposite the right angle symbol is always the hypotenuse. So this is C. Our A and B. Ready equation. Plugging the values. So C is 6, 6 squared is 36. A is 3, 3 squared is 9. Plus B squared is what we want to solve. Alright, so we characterize the 9. So 36 subtract 9 is 27. Alright, so B would end up being the square root of 27. And that will be 5.19. So that is the answer. Alright, so that's the end of the video there, guys. So if you remember the stuff, and you can always watch over just to make sure everything's cemented, and it looks off. Later.